Hey everybody, I am back with the video. I know I haven't made one in a while. This one is super exciting for me. How many people will find it at first? Don't know. Saw the title. It's not going to be one that you think just it is, but the short version is quitting sugar, reducing sugar, 90 days, 3 months. Oh my God. Yeah, coming up to Christmas. I wanted to make this video before Christmas, so hopefully those who overindulge at Christmas, which I'm totally fine with, but if you're wanting to make a change in your life, I would love to share the transformation that I am going through, have gone through, and continue to go through on eliminating, getting rid of sugar in my life. I'm going to be looking through my notes now and then, but I'll try saying it in my own words first. I'll start with the notes of why I did it, because I'm trying to go like, why to do this again? If you haven't seen my last video, I may have gone a bit over the top, but it was on how I quit chocolate. I know you're like, quit chocolate, why? Watch the video, short version. I wonder if there's cruelty apart, but that's not the main reason. I ended up in the hospital not realizing it was chocolate. My body doesn't love it. Dogs and cats, it kills them. Do what's right for you. I just don't like it. I don't want it. Thanks. That's what I have to say on that. And some reason when I made that video, I don't know what happened, but something in me was snapped and changed. And I was like, I think it's time to change quitting sugar. I've never done that for, having that in my life. I started around the beginning of October of this year with the goal of having a Christmas, which is coming up this very weekend and Monday, where I would like to do a sugar-free Christmas, or extremely minimal amount by what you'll see or what I say. You go, what? Either you're doing it or not. Let's get into it. So first, let me get the notes of why I'm doing this. Why did I do this in the first place? No sugar? What the heck? And I'm going to have props. It's not just me talk. The weight loss thing, I'll get into that later. How I've changed physically, mentally, emotionally, if you want to say spiritually.
Fun and funny.
So the adventure begins. And a lot of this is inspired from, I forgot her name, but there's an amazing video. She has more than one and a really great interview. I'll post both the links below. She has a video called I Quit Sugar. And she was one of the hosts of MasterChef Australia, I believe. One of the first people. Anyway, her story is really compelling, interesting, fascinating. So why do I want to quit sugar? Feeling mentally sharp, thinking clear, cravings going away. Well, we're going to get into that. Not being pleasurable to me anymore. More energy. I want to see what happens. I was really curious, and I'm still curious. Let's see what happens. Let me try it. I've seen videos on YouTube, people talk about it, but for me, what happens for me? Me. And by the way, even though I say all this, it's not just about the food. The spirituality, God, source, universe is the answer. And God led me to it, is removing it from my life. You can call it God, universe, I don't know, but it happened. The thing I find interesting is I wonder how much are we brainwashed with sugar. I love the idea of freedom and getting out of the matrix and getting out of the programming. And I'm willing to look at myself in the mirror. The first week was really hard. I don't think it was hard in my mind. I thought, well, day 3, they say after the third, so many videos you watch after the third day, after the third week. I noticed I was still craving hardcore. What did I replace it with? I was all like about the dried fruit, which if I had any tip to give you, you do whatever works for you. I would not recommend having dried fruit. I tried buying dried figs. This is not something I consume often, but I thought, oh, that's a real food. Yeah, and I was having raisins and I was actually like, it wasn't a horrible experience, but I noticed that I felt heavier and it just, whatever. But that's what worked for me for the first week. If you need to do that, then do a transition food. But I would recommend not having the dried fruit, which is something that Sarah Wilson, that's her name. Sarah Wilson, I hope I got it right. Sarah Wilson recommended, and I wish I listened because she was right. Get off the dried fruit because it's just the same thing, the sugars, even though it's natural. But again, we would be having dried fruit in nature unless we were in a place where, like many years ago, like in biblical times, where maybe they didn't have as much access to fresh fruit. So they would have dried fruit because they didn't have a grocery store to go to necessarily. Okay. 1 week later. I used to like shrimp, and whatever reason, I don't know if it's because somebody told me stuff about them, I stopped liking it. My taste buds changed and I could not eat it anymore. I just could not. If I absolutely had to and was starving, I probably could. but the idea is really gross to me now, like the little poop stuff in there, even though I know you can clean it up. Sorry. Okay, one thing I started having was cloves. I know I've done this already. This isn't new to me, but I had like dried clove. It's super cheap. I don't do it all the time, but it's still helpful. And by the way, I gave myself a little disclaimer. Like, I didn't want to be like all or nothing. For me, I allowed myself to have an occasional mint, which you'll see how that has gone up and down like a roller coaster in my journey of the no sugar. I said, if I want to have a mint, I am okay with that. Talked about is have more protein. Protein, the way thing she described it is have a log on the fire. Like you can have a little piece of paper and you're burning it and go through the day, but the paper doesn't burn very much. But put a log on the fire, get on with your day. What does that mean in real life? When I had my green smoothie in the morning, which has protein and had healthy fats like coconut oil, I started having, I forgot to have it today, and see, this is something I'm still working on, but most days I started a new habit of just having, and I mean really small, handful of, there we go, walnuts. Wow, that's probably reversed in the camera. Maybe it's not. And just have a small handful, like I mean small, like maybe 5 or 6 of them with your meal and the breakfast in the morning. You're good to go. I know some say they have omega-3s are good for your brain. Some say, oh, it's horrible because it's high in omega-6s. Again, look at nature. If you had them in nature, would you be eating them in the handfuls? No, but you could have some of them. So just have a couple. You'd be amazed how much it helps because it's not the sugars, it's the fats. And a lot of the sugars that we want is the flavors. Flava Flav. Dessert after a meal. That's a huge brainwash thing. I remember for the first week, I was really struggling with that. Sometimes all you need is water. That the first week. What else happened? I mentioned tried dried figs was okay, but made me feel heavy. Here's the second week happened. I'm not going to go through every single week, but for like the first month, and then I started giving a monthly report. Week 2 was I started to have a plan for Christmas, and I discovered, I wrote no more dried food. And then I thought, let's do chips. And I went to the other extreme, and not that I would be someone who would buy chips often. I tried buying veggie chips. Hard to find ones with no sugar, but anyway. And that didn't last long. I also don't like spending money on that kind of stuff, so that helps me stop. And so it worked for a little bit, but I went into the salts. But we don't want to go heavy salt either. Again, do what's right for you. Orange. I fell in love with blood orange. I didn't even know this. So I saw one in the store. This was, I guess, close to Halloween time because I started, like I said, in October. And I love the idea of blood orange. I know that sounds gross, and I kind of like that it sounds gross. Kind of Halloween. I was in the mood. Anyway, and I saw some at Whole Foods. I'm going to try and insert a clip here. Look at this. It's like Christmas, and God's telling me I'm the right path for dessert. Blood orange. Blood oranges. Yes. I think it's my new favorite orange, although both oranges are good. Where I saw them, and I was decided that's what I'm going to have for Christmas. My Christmas after the meal on Christmas Day. And I swear to you, I have not been like I love orange. I've always been orange juice over apple juice person. But they were the best oranges I've had in my whole life. Today, I went crazy trying to find blood oranges everywhere. And everywhere, no one has blood oranges. However, they have Cara oranges, which apparently are like pinkish inside. So I'm going to be having that and try that. And here's the thing that came to me. 99% is a bitch, 100% is a breeze. Here's what I mean by that, and I didn't make this up. I may have mentioned it in another video. 99% is like, well, I'll have it sometimes, sugar, and then I'll have a pastry this day. What if I have it here? Or 100%, done, over and out. Don't eat sugar, don't have it, don't want it. No, thank you, it's not happening. So much easier, so much easier. By the third week, I did it. So this was the first Halloween of my life. I wrote, awesome, I did it. That I went to the dentist and told them, I have not had sugar. Do you know how amazing that was to say? Like, I have quit sugar. I am not using sugar. Oh, this was really inspiring. Oh my God, I forgot about this. So when I was in the third week where I'd found the blood oranges, we're kind of transitioning into that. This woman I heard where I was kind of feeling like going back for 2 seconds. I'm like, maybe I should just quit it and go back to sugar. I heard some woman say to her husband, she goes, they had rings, I have mood swings when I have sugar. And I was like, yes, thank you. I need that. This is why I am not doing it, because I want to get off the emotional roller coaster up and down. Think it doesn't affect you? Try getting off it and you'll see. Here's where I'm going to speed up the story. We'll go through past the third week. Maybe I will do it now. How much have I lost? I've lost maybe 3 pounds. maybe 5 at most. You're like, what? However, here's the amazing whatever. My body looked more toned and is more toned now. Like, I don't know what it is or what happened or if this is in my brain, but in the stomach area, not that I've ever had a weight problem, but I would like to lose a few pounds, though I'm pretty happy with my weight. It is more toned in the belly section. People say like, wow, you've lost weight. And I didn't lose that much. That's the thing. And people would say to me, you look like, well, the family member said, you look like you lost weight. And I don't know, redistributed. Once I got to the first month of finishing this, I had an opportunity come up to take a mindfulness course called MBSR, Mindful-Based Stress Reduction. So isn't this amazing? So we're talking about new neural pathways, how to deal with stress. Some people eat sugar, etc. when they're stressed. Again, not saying it's right or wrong. And I'm currently doing it right now, and it is extremely helpful. I'm learning, even though I have the past experiences where I did MBCT, Mindful-Based Cognitive Therapy. I made a huge, long 1-hour video on my YouTube channel. What started to inspire me from the negative but the positive is I love the idea of freedom. Remember I said this at the beginning, freedom. I used to walk by, not all the time, and I don't think I necessarily had a problem with sugar, but when you walk by like a pastry aisle, or sometimes they have like the bakery section of a grocery store and they had things on sale and they'd be like, oh, it's discounted, maybe I should get it. Like I go through that and I walk on by. There is such freedom in that. Like I'm saving money. I have saved money. Hallelujah. Can't we all save money these days? It's just like, it's not on my radar. I don't want it. I don't need it. Thank you. If there's any reason, that's it there. Like cut the cord on the matrix. I hope that this is interesting to you because, yeah. So what am I having now is healthy fats. Can I just say that again? The importance of fats. Fats fills you up, whether that be nuts, seeds. If you eat butter, have some butter. The big tip that Sarah Wilson gave that I have done sometimes and I would like to increase is having a tablespoon of coconut oil. You can get organic coconut oil from many places. I get mine from Costco. I used to get it from this raw food brand, but they became expensive. There's so many brands. You can find coconut oils like cheap now. You know, find one that's cold pressed. Just have a tablespoon of it, and you will, if you're having a sugar craving or you're feeling tired, that like afternoon kind of slope of energy going, have some healthy fats. Put a log on the fire. I kept saying that in my brain. Put a log on the fire. Here's a Merry Christmas to me. On Christmas Eve, I'm doing for myself a guacamole party. I was so amazed with the food prices. I don't know where you are, but where I am, the food prices are going insane. I think that's everywhere. And this is not all of them. I swear to you, this happened yesterday. I was talking to someone in the grocery store, this stranger, this Asian woman. She was so funny. We were talking about prices, and I said, I'm going to make some guacamole because, again, healthy fats, and why not? Instead of buying it in the container, paying all this money, almost like $10 for this really good, authentic Mexican one. And I swear, for $6, I got this bag. Does not show all of them. Right now, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There were 12 of them for $6. I don't know if you know how amazing that is. Hallelujah. I made it yesterday. I froze some for Christmas, so I'm going to de-thaw it the night before and have. And there's, again, healthy fats. It'll satisfy me. What am I having instead? Healthy fats, not going crazy. Water. Yeah. Here's my mint experiment that I'm going to get back to. I had some candy canes that I had ordered. It's a long story. I had to order a food product. And I was very curious. I told myself I do not want to have candy canes, but I was like, okay, mints, fine. I'll have that. And I felt like total crap. I felt like I was eating floor cleaner. However, I do have one brand of candy cane I found I'm okay with. They're these mini ones. I'm having one mini one and 5 like super strong mints for Christmas. I'm okay with that. If I want to have that every once in a while, not a big deal. If someone offered me sugar and I had it in a product, again, not a huge deal, but I don't want it. I don't want it. That is a humongous change. I want healthy, fresh fruits. I don't know, orange is cheap, and to me it's vitamin C and it feels abundance. Or you can have a persimmon. If you've ever had a persimmon, make sure it's ripe. And they are delicious. But yeah, I'm changed. I am changing. I continue to change. I really hope that this shows you that You change mentally where you don't have to be a slave to food. Eat the right healthy fats will give you the fire that you need. The first few weeks, month can be a bit of a strange physically, mentally, emotional roller coaster, but I don't know how much of it is even really a detox, just like our habits changing. Freedom, have your reason. What's your reason for stopping? Is it losing weight? Is it feeling great? Is it feeling like you've cut off the matrix and you're like, nope, you're not controlling me anymore, sugar. Oh, no, 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 no. Bye, bye, bye. And I would like to follow up. I'm putting this in my schedule book for next year. So October of 2024, I am committing to this. I'm going to follow up and let you know how has a year of extremely reduced, no sugar in my life been. Because again, I am not perfect. Never going to be. I'm okay with that. And I can just see things are going positive from here. Continuing to do this mindfulness MBSR course, I swear it just kind of came up. I really feel like that was because of this no sugar thing. This opportunity came up where it would usually be quite more money for me to take. I don't know, but there are other things that will show up. They say when one door closes, another one opens. It's opened. Things are changing. They're happening. Things are shifting. I love it. Energetically, being present at first can be a little intense when you don't have the sugar because it's not covering up the stuff that we're going through. And I think that's why mindfulness showed up going, okay, now we're going to go beyond the food and go, what's really going on deeper? Presence, energy, God, connection, whatever that is for you. So I hope this has been inspiring. If you have any questions, please put them down below. And may you have a magical, wonderful Christmas season. I have more coming once I finish the Mindful Base MBSR course, which will be towards the end of January next year, January 2024. I will be sharing my journey on that without, giving it all away. If there's other topics you want me to cover, let me know. But yeah, the no sugar thing, it's not just a fad of YouTube videos. I know I've looked at them and go, okay, well, whatever, You're not giving anything up. That's the thing. It's so true that Sarah Wilson said. Again, I'll share that video. You're not giving things up. I mean, you are. Like, let's get real. You are giving it up. It doesn't feel like I'm doing it. It's just not on my radar. As some people say, it's not on my radar. I'm gaining other things instead. Presence, freedom, emotional. It's really beautiful. The squirrels, the animals, they're not eating cake. They're not eating these sugary crap. It's humans. It's not what we were designed to be. If you want to eat it, I'm totally fine with that. No judgment. If you want to have something now and then, okay. But I'm letting you know there's another way you can change and it will feel amazing. See you next time. Peace.